Closely chosen one. If this message has found its way to you, it is by no means a coincidence. There is a specific frequency vibrating in the ether today, January 25th, and your spirit has acted as an antenna, capturing this signal amidst the noise of the world. You must prepare yourself, for a monumental announcement is about to resonate in the deepest chambers of your soul. We are not speaking of a subtle shift or a gradual improvement that takes years to manifest. We are speaking of a tectonic movement, a sudden and massive influx of resources that is destined to alter your physical reality. This is the breaking of the dam. It is a divine orchestration that the unawakened might call a stroke of luck, but you will know it as the arrival of a promise long held in trust. Over the last 48 to 72 hours, have you felt a shift in the atmosphere? Perhaps it manifests as a strange pressure in your chest, or an electric anxiety that doesn't feel like fear, but rather like a vibrating restlessness. You may have found yourself waking up at 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, feeling as though you are waiting for a visitor who is just outside the door. I need you to understand that this is not common anxiety. This is what the mystics and the prophets identify as turbulence before the miracle. When a spiritual blessing of this magnitude attempts to condense itself into the three-dimensional reality, it displaces the atmosphere around you. You are feeling the weight of the glory before it even becomes visible to the naked eye. However, receiving this magnitude of blessing requires a vessel strong enough to hold it without cracking under the pressure. This is why I always recommend that those walking this path arm themselves with the proper tools for the journey. It is the reason I point you toward the 3 keys to a prosperous life. This trilogy is not merely a collection of books. It is a practical map designed specifically for chosen ones like you to awaken to who you really are, to heal the invisible locks that have kept you in cycles of lack, and to expand with stability. It teaches you how to receive, sustain, and multiply your blessings without the heavy burden of guilt that often plagues the spiritual heart. Whether you prefer to read the e-books or listen to the audiobooks to absorb this wisdom while you move through your day, this knowledge is essential for what comes next. If you feel that resonance in your spirit, I invite you to click the link in the pinned comment or description to begin this journey. It is a small step that prepares the foundation for the skyscraper that is about to be built in your life. Now let us return to the root of why this is happening to you and why now. I know your history, for it is written in the scars you carry. For years, you have been the black sheep, the shock absorber for your lineage. You have carried the financial burdens of family and friends, always the one giving until you were hollowed out. I can see the moments you thought went unnoticed. The silent tears in the car so no one would see you break. The mental calculator running furiously in the grocery store as you chose the cheapest option rather than the healthiest, simply to survive. You have watched the wicked prosper while you, the faithful, counted coins in the shadows. But here is the secret of the kingdom. Your tears did not evaporate. They filled a chalice in the spiritual realm, and that chalice has now tipped over. What is coming is not luck. It is divine restitution. The universe is not just going to give you money, it is going to repay you with interest for the years the locusts have eaten. The season of scarcity is dead. To fully welcome this sudden wealth, we must perform a precise surgery on the soul right now. There is a blockage, a poverty program that was likely installed in your operating system before you were 10 years old. Do you remember the tension in your childhood home? The sound of your parents arguing over bills? That infant fear created a silent vow in your subconscious that says money equals pain, or that wealth equals conflict. This is the hairline fracture in your vessel. It is the reason why, in the past, whenever money came to you, it quickly escaped through unexpected expenses or emergencies. The law of the vessel dictates that water cannot remain in a cracked jar. We are going to apply a technique I call Spiritual Kintsugi. In the ancient Japanese art of Kintsugi, broken pottery is repaired with lacquer mixed with powdered gold. making the object more beautiful and valuable than it was before it was broken. I want you to close your eyes for a moment if it is safe to do so. Visualize that financial trauma in your solar plexus as a dark, heavy stone. Take a deep breath, inhaling pure light, and as you exhale, blow that stone out of your system. Now visualize the liquid gold of providence filling those cracks where the pain used to reside. Where there was once a fear of lack, there is now the wisdom of a king. You are not just healed, you are reinforced with gold. You are now structurally sound to retain the blessing. If you claim this healing, take a moment to like this video, signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive. With your internal state recalibrated, we must address your external environment, for sudden wealth detests chaos. Money is a current, an energy that requires a clean place to land. I want you to look at your wallet. Is it filled with old receipts, crumpled papers, and expired cards? Listen carefully. Old receipts are dead energy. They are physical totems of money that has already left you, and by carrying them, you are subconsciously signaling that you are holding on to the past. Your first practical task upon finishing this message is to cleanse your wallet. Organize the bills. Treat your wallet as the throne where your provision sits. When you create order in the physical, you signal to the spiritual that the runway is clear for the aircraft of abundance to land. But there is a danger we must discuss, a trap that snares many chosen ones just as the breakthrough arrives. It is the trap of the loose tongue. When this wealth manifests, and it will happen quickly, your first instinct will be to share the good news with those you love, or perhaps those you wish to impress. You must resist this urge with every fiber of your being. Silence is not just about modesty, it is a strategic defense mechanism. We live in a world filled with monitoring spirits and the energy of envy, often coming from those closest to us who have not done the work you have done. When you broadcast your blessing before it has fully solidified, you invite the evil eye, or negative thought forms, to attack the harvest. The Bible speaks of not casting pearls before swine, not as an insult, but as a protection for the pearls. Understand that not everyone can handle the voltage of your light. When you suddenly rise, it acts as a mirror to their stagnation. And that reflection can breed a subconscious resentment that acts as a spiritual resistance against your progress. Move in silence. Let your results speak so loudly that you never have to say a word. Build your foundation in the quiet and only reveal the fruit when the roots are too deep to be uprooted by the jealousy of others. As this wealth arrives, you will face a test of character that is far more difficult than the test of poverty. Poverty tests your endurance, but wealth tests your humanity. You will be tempted to solve everyone's problems, to become the savior for those who refuse to save themselves. You must discern the difference between helping and enabling. The universe is entrusting you with this resource because you have the heart of a steward. But a steward must be wise. If you give to those who are committed to their own destruction, you are not helping them. You are financing their chaos. Ask for the spirit of discernment to know where to sow your seeds. There is one final sign that confirms this shift is happening immediately. You may have noticed a sudden separation from certain people in your life over the last few weeks. Relationships that seemed stable have suddenly dissolved, or you feel a distinct lack of connection with groups you used to fit into. Do not grieve this. This is the shedding of the skin. You cannot enter a new dimension of abundance while tethered to the anchors of your past reality. These people are not bad, but they are not equipped for where you are going. The elevator to the penthouse has a weight limit, and sometimes you must go up alone before you can send the elevator back down. As you stand on this precipice, looking out at the horizon of January 25th and beyond, know that you are protected. The anxiety you feel is simply the adrenaline of the soul preparing for flight. You have endured the training of the desert, so that you could manage the abundance of the promised land. Keep your eyes open for the synchronicities, repeating numbers, unexpected calls, opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere. These are the breadcrumbs leading you to the banquet. And as you walk this path, remember that there is still one more layer to this mystery, a hidden element of the transfer that most people overlook until it is too late. Something that involves the very specific way you speak about your future in the coming days. This brings us to the architecture of your language. The ancient texts tell us that life and death are in the power of the tongue, but in the modern era, we have forgotten that speech is not just communication, it is programming. Every word you utter is an acoustic vibration that structures the reality around you. When you complain about the delay, you are energetically affirming the blockage. When you speak of your lack, you are signing a contract with poverty. In these critical days leading up to your breakthrough, you must become a guardian of your mouth. You cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought, and you certainly cannot afford the cost of a negative word spoken aloud. This is the final gate. The universe is listening to see if you still identify with the victim you used to be, or if you are ready to speak with the authority of the victor you are becoming. If you say, "I hope this happens," you introduce doubt. Instead, you must shift your internal and external dialogue to "I am ready to receive." This transition from a mindset of scarcity to one of absolute sovereignty is not something that happens by accident. It requires a systematic dismantling of the old programming that has kept you playing small. This is why so many of the chosen feel stuck in a loop of almost breakthroughs, sensing their potential but unable to grasp it. To bridge this gap, I have curated a specific roadmap for you, a trilogy known as The 3 Keys to a Prosperous Life. This is not just a collection of ideas, it is a practical step-by-step guide designed to help you awaken to who you really are, heal the invisible traumas that repel wealth, and expand your capacity to hold abundance with stability. Available as both an e-book for deep study and an audiobook for immersion while you move through your day, this trilogy teaches you how to receive without guilt, sustain what you're given, and multiply it for the benefit of all. It is the manual for the steward who is ready for the next level. If you feel this resonating with your spirit, if you know you need a structured path to navigate this expansion, I invite you to click the link in the pinned comment or description below. Secure your copy of The 3 Keys to a Prosperous Life today. It is a small investment in a future that is waiting for you to claim it. But remember, this offer is a tool, and a tool only works if the hand holding it is steady. Once you have committed to this new level of understanding, you will notice that the external noise begins to fade, replaced by an intense internal focus. This is where the biological reality of wealth comes into play. You see, your nervous system has a set point for how much joy, love, and money it can tolerate before it triggers a panic response. This is why lottery winners often lose everything within a few years. Their nervous system perceived the abundance as a threat to their identity and subconsciously engineered a way to return to the safety of the struggle. As you approach January 25th and the days that follow, you may feel sudden waves of inexplicable anxiety or a desire to sabotage your own progress. Recognize this for what it is. It is not a premonition of doom. It is your body trying to regulate itself back to the familiar temperature of lack. You must override this biological safety switch. You do this by consciously relaxing into the discomfort of things going well. When a new opportunity arises, instead of bracing for the other shoe to drop, breathe into the sensation of expansion. Tell your nervous system, it is safe to be successful. It is safe to have more than enough. And this somatic work is just as important as the spiritual work. You are literally rewiring your biology to conduct a higher voltage of energy. If you do not expand your vessel, the influx of blessings will crack the container. This is why the period of waiting has been so long. You were not being punished, you were being reinforced. The concrete of your character had to cure so that it could hold the weight of the skyscraper you're about to build. Consider the concept of the void. Before any major creation, there is a void, a space of nothingness. In the beginning, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. You might be feeling that void right now. It manifests as a strange flatness, a lack of motivation, or a feeling that you are suspended in mid-air between two cliffs. Most people panic here. They try to fill the void with distractions, with noise, with old habits, but you must hold your ground. The void is not empty. It is pregnant with potential. It is the vacuum that draws in the new reality. If you rush to fill it with cheap dopamine or frantic activity, you occupy the space that was reserved for your miracle. Be still. The silence is not an absence of activity, it is the presence of preparation. As you navigate this silence, you will also begin to see the truth about the concept of sacrifice. We are often taught that sacrifice means losing something we love, but in the higher laws of prosperity, sacrifice is simply the trading of a lesser thing for a greater thing. You are sacrificing your comfort for your calling. You are sacrificing your need to be liked for your need to be respected. You are sacrificing your addiction to struggle for the responsibility of power. This is the trade the universe demands. You cannot hold on to the identity of the struggling survivor and simultaneously embody the thriving leader. One must die for the other to live. This is the ego death that precedes the resurrection of your true self. If you are feeling a sense of grief right now, even as good things are happening, know that it is normal. You are grieving the death of the version of you that survived the desert. Thank that version for getting you here, and then gently let it go. There is a sophisticated trap that appears at this specific stage of the journey, one that masquerades as virtue. It is the trap of premature rescue. As your vibration rises and your resources increase, you will become a magnet for those in crisis. People will sense your stability and seek to anchor themselves to you. Your instinct, born of a good heart, will be to save them. But you must remember the lesson of the butterfly. If you cut the chrysalis open to help the butterfly emerge, you rob it of the struggle that strengthens its wings, and it will never fly. By intervening too soon in the lessons of others, you may be interrupting their karma and stunting their growth. True compassion sometimes looks like inaction. It looks like holding space for someone to solve their own problems, trusting that they too have a guidance system. If you deplete your energy trying to carry everyone else up the mountain, you will collapse before you reach the summit, and then you are of no use to anyone. Secure your own oxygen mask first. This is not selfishness, it is strategic sustainability. The world does not need more martyrs, it needs more models of possibility. By thriving, by standing fully in your light, you give others permission to do the same. Your greatest contribution to your family and your community is your own self-actualization. When you break the generational curse of poverty in your own life, you break it energetically for your lineage. You become the anomaly that changes the genetic expression of your bloodline. This is a heavy burden, yes, but it is also a glorious privilege. If you are willing to accept this mantle of responsibility, signify it by engaging with this content. A simple like or comment creates a micro-commitment in your psychology, reinforcing to your subconscious that you are aligned with this message. Now, let us look closely at the phenomenon of imposter syndrome, which tends to flare up violently just before a major ascension. You may hear a voice whispering, "Who are you to have this? You are a fraud. Everyone is going to find out." This voice is the defense mechanism of the ego, trying to keep you small and safe. The antidote to imposter syndrome is not arrogance, but service. When you make it about yourself, about how you look, how you sound, how you are perceived, you will always feel inadequate. But when you shift your focus to the mission, to the value you are providing, to the people you are called to serve, the fear evaporates. You are not here to be impressive. You are here to be effective. You are a vessel. The water does not take credit for the pipe that carries it, and the pipe does not worry about the quality of the water. You are simply the conduit. Keep your channel clear and let the energy flow through you. As we move past the marker of January 25th, pay close attention to your dreams. The veil between the conscious and subconscious minds is thinning. You may receive downloads, ideas, or warnings in your sleep state. Keep a journal by your bed. These are not random firings of neurons. They are encrypted messages from your higher self. You might dream of old houses, representing past states of being, vehicles, representing your drive and path, or specific people from your past, representing unresolved energetic ties. Analyze these symbols not with fear, but with curiosity. What is your psyche trying to process? What luggage are you still carrying that needs to be checked before the flight? This brings us to the practical application of stealth wealth. As you begin to accumulate resources, the temptation to upgrade your lifestyle visibly will be strong. The luxury car, the branded clothes, the visible symbols of status, these are the toys of the immature soul. True wealth is quiet. True power is understated. The wealthiest people in the room often look the most unassuming. Why? Because they have nothing to prove. They are not seeking validation from strangers. Furthermore, flashing your wealth creates a disturbance in the energetic field of those around you, triggering envy and projection. Be like the iceberg. Let only 10% of your reality be visible above the surface. Keep the other 90%. Your plans, your investments, your true net worth, your spiritual practices, submerged and protected. This mystery makes you formidable. It protects your energy field from the hooks of jealousy and allows you to maneuver through the world with less resistance. We must also address the concept of velocity. When the dam finally breaks, the water does not trickle, it rushes. You're likely to experience a compression of time where more happens in 3 months than happened in the previous 3 years. This acceleration can be disorienting. You might feel like you are losing control. The key to managing velocity is rhythm. You must establish non-negotiable rituals that anchor you. Whether it is 20 minutes of meditation in the morning, a specific workout routine, or a walk in nature without your phone, these anchors prevent you from being swept away by the current of your own success. Structure creates freedom. Without a rigid structure to channel the flow, the energy will disperse and dissipate. You need a container strong enough to hold the force of the river. There is a spiritual dimension to this financial transfer that is rarely discussed. Money is simply solidified energy. It is a certificate of appreciation from society for value created. But in the hands of the chosen, it becomes something else. It becomes a weapon of mass construction. You are being funded to build the new earth. The businesses you start, the art you create, the families you support, these are the bricks of a new reality. Do not apologize for your desire for wealth. That desire is the divine impulse seeking expression through you. The shame around money is a program installed by those who wanted to keep you powerless. Reject it. Purity is not found in poverty. Purity is found in purpose. You can be wealthy and holy. You can be powerful and kind. In fact, you require resources to be effectively kind on a large scale. Reflect on the people who have exited your life recently. It is painful, but look closer. Were they fueling your fire, or were they pissing on it? Were they discussing ideas, or were they discussing other people? The elevator to the penthouse, as we mentioned, has a weight limit. But there is another aspect to this. The air is thinner at the top. Not everyone has the lung capacity to breathe at your altitude. If you try to drag them up there, they will suffocate, and in their panic, they will drag you down. Let them acclimatize at their own pace at base camp. You go to the summit. You plant the flag. You show them it is possible. That is the greatest love you can offer, the example of what is possible when one commits fully to the path. As you integrate this understanding, you will find that your tolerance for drama drops to zero. You simply no longer have the bandwidth for petty conflicts, gossip, or circular arguments. You will begin to guard your peace with the ferocity of a lioness guarding her cubs. This is a sign of spiritual maturity. You realize that your energy is your currency, and you stop spending it on bad investments. You become selective about what you read, what you watch, and who you listen to. You understand that everything you consume is food for your spirit, and you refuse to eat junk food anymore. This dietary shift of the soul changes your vibration, which in turn changes your attraction point. You start meeting people who are operating at this new frequency, people who talk about growth, vision, and collaboration rather than problems and people. This new tribe is waiting for you, but you have to vacate the space occupied by the old tribe to let them in. It is a vacuum law. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you create space, the universe must fill it. But if you are hoarding the clutter of dead relationships out of fear of being alone, you block the arrival of your soul family. Be brave enough to walk alone for a season. The solitude is the refining fire. It is in the solitude that you hear the voice of God, the voice of your intuition, clear and bell-like, unpolluted by the opinions of the herd. In the coming days, pay attention to the random thoughts that drop into your mind out of nowhere. A sudden urge to call a specific person, a flash of an idea for a project, a memory of a skill you haven't used in years. These are not random. These are the coordinates for your next step. Follow the nudge. The logic may not be apparent immediately, but the logic often only appears in the rearview mirror. Faith is moving without the full map, trusting that the flashlight you hold reveals enough of the path for just the next step. You do not need to see the whole staircase, you just need to take the next step. And as you take that step, remember that you are breaking a cycle that may have existed in your family for centuries. You are the cycle breaker. The resistance you feel is the accumulated momentum of generations of lack pushing back against your progress. It is heavy because you are lifting the weight of history, but you are strong enough. You were built for this. The ancestors are watching, holding their breath, waiting to see if you will be the one who finally turns the tide. When you succeed, you heal them too. You rewrite the narrative of your lineage from one of survival to one of significance. There is, however, a subtle danger in feeling like the savior of your lineage. It can lead to a messiah complex where you feel responsible for everyone's happiness. You must detach from the outcome of others' lives. You can offer the water, but you cannot force the horse to drink. If you tie your happiness to whether or not your family changes, you will be miserable. Your victory is in your own transformation. If they are inspired to follow, wonderful. If not, you must love them from the boundary of your own wholeness. Do not lower your vibration to meet them. Maintain your frequency so they have a lighthouse to aim for when they are ready to navigate the storm. Now look at your hands. These are the tools of your trade. Whether you type, build, heal, or speak, your physical actions in this dimension anchor the spiritual blessings. You must couple your high vibration with high-quality action. The law of attraction is only half the equation. The other half is the law of action. You must show up. You must do the work. The miracle is a partnership between your human grit and divine grace. God provides the wind, but you must raise the sail. If the sail is down, the wind blows in vain. Raising the sail looks like discipline. It looks like consistency. It looks like doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Feelings are excellent servants, but terrible masters. Do not let your fleeting emotions dictate your long-term destiny. As you stand on the precipice of this new reality, looking out past January 25th, understand that the version of you that started this journey is not the version that will finish it. You are being smelted. The impurities are burning off. It hurts, yes, but the gold that remains is pure. You are becoming a person of substance, a person of weight. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere will shift not because of what you say, but because of who you are. This is the ultimate goal, not just to have wealth, but to be wealth, to be a source, to be a fountain, not a drain. But there is something else, a final piece of the puzzle that often goes unnoticed until the very moment of transfer. It involves the specific geometry of your attention. Where you place your eyes, the energy flows. If you are constantly looking at the obstacles, you feed them. If you focus entirely on the horizon, you trip over the stone in front of you. The master learns to hold a dual focus, one eye on the vision and one eye on the step. This bifocal vision is the mark of the initiate. You must be practical and mystical simultaneously. You must balance the checkbook and trust the universe. This balance is the key to sustainable expansion. And as you master this balance, you will encounter the gatekeepers. These are individuals or situations that seem to block your path right at the finish line. They are not there to stop you. They are there to test your resolve. They ask the silent question, how badly do you want this? Do not fight the gatekeepers with aggression. Navigate them with wisdom. Sometimes the door is locked, not because you are denied, but because you have to